Joseph was a boy marked by destiny long before he understood it. He was the beloved son of Jacob, born in his father's old age, and wrapped in a coat of many colors, a garment that silently proclaimed favor. But that favor stirred jealousy in the hearts of his brothers. When Joseph spoke of his dreams, of sheaves bowing, of stars kneeling, his brothers' hatred burned hotter. They did not see God's plan, they only saw pride. One day, in the lonely fields of Dothan, envy found its opportunity. They stripped Joseph of his colorful coat and threw him into a pit, empty of water, but full of betrayal. As his cries echoed upward, his brothers sat down to eat. Soon after, they sold him for 20 pieces of silver to passing Ishmaelites. Joseph was carried away, not knowing that the road of suffering would lead him into divine purpose. From slave to servant of God, Joseph arrived in Egypt as a slave in the house of Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. Yet even in chains, God was with him. Whatever Joseph touched prospered, and Potiphar placed everything under his care. But righteousness often invites testing. Potiphar's wife falsely accused Joseph when he refused her advances. Though innocent, Joseph was thrown into prison. The dreams of leadership seemed buried beneath iron bars, but God was still writing the story. Dreams in the darkness inside the prison, Joseph found favor again. There he met Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, troubled by mysterious dreams. God granted Joseph understanding, and his interpretations came true, one restored, the other executed. Yet when the cupbearer was freed, he forgot Joseph. 2 long years passed. From prison to palace, then Pharaoh himself dreamed, visions that troubled his soul. No one in Egypt could explain them. Suddenly, the cupbearer remembered the Hebrew prisoner. Joseph was summoned, shaved, and brought before Pharaoh. He spoke with humility, declaring that interpretation belongs to God. Joseph explained the dreams, 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of severe famine. He offered wise counsel, to store grain during the years of plenty. Pharaoh recognized the Spirit of God in him. In a single day, Joseph was lifted from prisoner to prime minister, second only to Pharaoh himself. He was clothed in fine linen, given a signet ring, and called Zaphanath-Paneah, the man to whom God reveals secrets. A test of the heart when famine struck the land. It reached even Canaan. Joseph's brothers came to Egypt seeking grain, unaware that the powerful ruler before them was the brother they had betrayed. Joseph recognized them, but they did not recognize him. He tested their hearts, not for revenge, but to see if they had changed. When he saw their repentance and their willingness to protect Benjamin, Joseph could no longer hold back his tears. "I am Joseph," he wept, "the one you sold into Egypt." Fear seized them, but Joseph spoke words that echoed eternity. "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to save many lives." God's purpose fulfilled. Joseph forgave his brothers and reunited with his father, Jacob. The family settled in Egypt, preserved through famine by the very one they once rejected. Joseph's life became a living testimony that God can turn betrayal into blessing, prisons into pathways, and pain into purpose. What humans intend for harm, God redeems for good. And so Joseph died in faith, trusting that God would one day bring his people back to the promised land, proof that God's plans never fail.